Hello Captains, and welcome to this unboxing video and review of the T-Rudder MK4 rudder pedals from VKBSim. The rudder pedals were sponsored and sent to me by Nicholas from the Explained.org store, so thank you so very much, Nicholas. This is a box containing the pedals, but let's start off by talking a little about the company VKBSim and some of the great features of these pedals. VKBSim is a Russian company. VKB is a Russian abbreviation of something that can be translated into Virtual Research and Design Center, and the company produces both rudder pedals and joysticks for the flight simulator industry. What makes VKB products different from most other products is that they are using magneto-resistive sensors, or MARS sensors, instead of usual Hall sensors. The benefit of this is that MARS sensors are non-contact sensors, which means that there is no friction when they are moving, which makes them very resistible. At the same time, they have an ultra-high resolution, making them extremely precise. This is a box containing the rudder pedals. Let's have a look inside the box and see what's in it. In the box we have a quick installation guide, a box containing nothing but air, a small metal box containing a very cool VKB keychain with a replica of the trigger of an authentic KG-12 stick found in the MiG-15 jet fighter, among others. Another box containing an USB cable, a link cable to hook it up, and a little orange box, which is of course the black box responsible for the connections. And the last thing in the box are two springs and a couple of tools to connect everything. The last thing in the box is the actual rudder pedals that we have here. Now, the first thing that struck me was how robust they both look and feel. As you can see, they are built of steel and aluminium only, no plastic, with the risk of things breaking off or anything. They feel really good. Now let's try to assemble the whole thing. First, we need to remove these two nuts. Then lift each pedal to fit the bearings here. And then put the nuts back again. Next we can adjust these pads to fit our foot size. The last thing we want to do is to put the link cable into the rudder pedals and over to the black box. Then put the USB cable into the black box and the other end into a USB port in our computer. Installation is super easy, no drivers needed, just connect the USB cable to the computer and we're good to go. I've done that now and will fire up X-Plane 11 for the first time with the new pedals. Let's start off by going into Settings and Joystick Calibration so we can calibrate our new rudder pedals. Let's click Calibrate and then first move the pedals to full right rudder and then full left rudder. There are no toe brakes, so we won't bother about them. We are going to ignore the other axis since I don't have the VKB joystick. Next, and finish. Now we need to assign the axis for the pedals, which I'm going to assign to yaw. And we're done with the calibration and ready to take them for a spin in a flight. Okay folks, we're at the largest airport in Denmark, Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel, Kastrup Airport, which is not very far from where I live. And it's a little bit windy today. We are flying the Airfoil Labs Cessna 172 Skyhawk, and it's the idea that we'll be flying a normal traffic pattern here from runway 4 left. Down to the right you can see my feet on the rudder pedals. The aircraft is configured for flight, so let's get this bird in the air. Release parking brake. Add a little throttle. Flaps 10 for takeoff. As you can see, I really feel the wind here today and have to make small corrections to the pedals to counteract wind and propeller torque. The pedals feel really good, very responsive. They are a little different from what I'm used to, which is the Cytec Pro Flight rudder pedals. We'll talk a little more about that when we're airborne. Now we're on the full power, pull a little back on the yoke and we're off the ground. I'll continue in the runway direction on our upwind leg and climb at an indicated airspeed of 75 knots until we reach 1000 feet above ground level. Flaps off. We're a little fast. We'll turn left onto our crosswind leg at a heading of 310 degrees and continue climb to 1000 feet. Ahead of us we have the city of Copenhagen, where I work. Looking back at the airport. And turn left towards the downwind leg. Continue parallel to the runway on our left. And let's level off now. Release the throttle a little bit to keep our airspeed around 85 knots. Here we have 112. Back to the pedals. They feel really good. I really like that everything is built in pure metal and that they feel really robust. As mentioned, they are a little different from the Zytec Pro Flight rudder pedals that I'm used to. One thing that's different is that the MK4 rudder pedals is used by kind of pressing the pedal downwards while keeping your heel on its platform. One benefit of this is that the pedals don't slide around the floor, which I'm used to with my other pedals if they aren't pushed up against a wall or something that won't move. They are really responsive, and I like that you can just relax your foot on them after takeoff. The only drawback, as I see it, is that the pedals don't have toe brakes. This is something I'll have to get used to, but it's no problem to map the brakes to a key either on the keyboard or your yoke, which is what I've done. We're a little fast, decrease the throttle a bit. Preparing for approach, flaps 10. Add a little more power. Start our descent. Turn left on the base leg. Too much speed, let's release the throttle a bit. Flaps 20. Aiming for a speed around 75 knots. Here's our runway. Let's turn left to a final. Flaps 40. Sorry folks, I know the flight is a bit wobbly. I'm not used to be using my track IR, so I'm both concentrating on my head movement as well as flying the aircraft. We're coming in a little too high and a little too fast. I think we'll manage. Flare, and now we have ground under our feet again. That sounds weird. I think it's to do with the brake toggle that I've mapped to a key on my yoke. I may have done something wrong, so I'll have to check that afterwards. Anyways, the missing toe brakes is the only drawback as I see it, and this can easily be managed by mapping the brakes to a key. In conclusion, these rudder pedals are well worth checking out. I've provided a link to the xplane.org store where they can be purchased for just below $200 US. This was all I wanted to show you this time. I hope you found it interesting. Thank you so much for watching and hope to see you very soon. Until then, take care.